What is up, enthusiasts? It is Cedar Flags here, and welcome back to another one of my videos. So, going to parks, you may find a few very common attractions that are at most amusement parks. Merry-go-rounds, Ferris wheels, and of course, roller coasters. But, as a roller coaster enthusiast who has been to several parks, I have to say that there have been certain attractions, rides, and others that I found to be much more entertaining than others. And I have noticed that some of these are very uncommon and very rare, especially here in the United States. And so, I wanted to make a video talking about some of these underrated attractions. This goes beyond the concept of just roller coasters. These are attractions that make parks way more charming and make the experience a much better time. A lot of these are very obscure, and a lot of these attractions only have a handful of installations or even less, especially here, like I said, in North America. And the purpose of this video is to tell you that I want more of these. Though they may be unlikely to add some more of these attractions, I would love to see some more. And if I made a park, I would definitely add all of these. So today, we are going to be talking about it. This is Cedar Flags, and today, I'm going to be talking about 5 amusement attractions we need more of, both rides and miscellaneous. So this video is going to be in 5 separate categories talking about broader attractions. 2 of them are going to focus on roller coasters, 1 of them is going to focus on flat rides, and the other 2 are going to be miscellaneous attractions found at some parks. But first, I want to talk about the flat ride category. Now, there are flat rides all over the place at parks all across the world. But what you don't see as often are interactive flat rides. Basically what I mean is a flat ride where you can control the experience from mild to wild. And there are some of these that I've gotten to experience, the most popular of which being the flying scooters, which are found all over the place. A notable example of the flying scooters is the one at Knoebels, which is a very thrilling flying scooter ride if you know how to do it right, but I'm going to be talking more about the ride right next to it. This is the Looper. This is one of the only of its kind in the United States, and it is a ride where you can control how the ride flips. You could rock back and forth to make it go upside down in your own pod, and you can even lock it as it's rotating so you can keep flipping over and over again. Some of the more popular modern examples of this are the Gerstlauer Sky Roller, and of course, the Technical Park Acrobat, which I have gotten to experience, and I have to say, this ride was a great time. There are so many more examples of these that will control your flipping, control how high you go, and control how thrilling the ride experience is. And I really think some of these attractions should be found more in the future of parks. For the next category, I want to talk about a roller coaster model that I have talked about many times recently on this channel. It is the water coaster, specifically the Mack Rides water coaster. Now, short story, a few weeks ago I got to go to SeaWorld Orlando once again and try out Journey to Atlantis, a ride I never got to experience before. And even though it's not a top 30 worthy ride, it made me realize it has got to be one of the most well-rounded rides I have ever been on. It combines both a water ride, a dark ride, and a roller coaster, and it makes it all combine into one. And so that is why I think this would be a great idea at more and more parks. Now, fortunately for the water coaster fans, they are getting a variant of a water coaster at Six Flags Over Texas in 2023, so who knows, the model could be growing. But what we do know is that there are not many in the world, especially here in North America. But like I said, there are so many parks that are lacking in the water ride department, so if they get a new coaster, why not add this to their collection? It would knock out both a roller coaster and a water ride. This is also a very flexible ride model. Heck, you could even put a vertical loop on it according to Mack Rides. You could do so much with this ride model, and I feel like we've only scratched the surface when it comes to these water coaster rides. Alright, now we are getting into the non-rides. These are just the normal midway miscellaneous attractions that you will find at some parks, and most of the parks you won't find any of, unfortunately. The first one I want to talk about are the walkthrough attractions. Now, the thing I like about this initially is that they are so diverse. These could be at much smaller parks, like Pirates Cove at Waldemere, and these could also be at much bigger parks, like Poseidon's Fury at Islands of Adventure. But both of these have one thing in common. They are both walkthrough attractions to some extent. While Pirates Cove is more of that small park charm, Poseidon's Fury demonstrates Islands of Adventure's movie magic and has a show going with it. No, they're not rides, they don't provide the thrill that flat rides and roller coasters do, but these are pure fun. You don't know what's going to happen in the next step, so it's more exciting. One of my favorite examples of this is Noah's Ark at one of my home parks, Kennywood. This is such a fun attraction, especially with the rocking. It's definitely disorienting, which I love, and especially when these wrap around each other, and when you walk out of the attraction you don't know what direction you are. That is just a very memorable feeling, and even though that these are older attractions, I hope that more come in the future. With another miscellaneous attraction, we are going to be looking at observation towers. Now, when you think of observation towers at theme parks, you might initially think of the Von Roll towers. These are flat rides that are in pods, where you go up a massive tower and then come back down, as controlled by the ride itself. Now, I'm a big fan of these, especially the one at SeaWorld Orlando, but I am not talking about those personally. Instead, I am talking about actual observation towers, mainly found at places outside of parks. These are notable at some parks like Kings Island and Kings Dominion as the Eiffel Tower, Six Flags Over Texas as the Oil Derrick, and Six Flags Magic Mountain as the now SBNO Sky Tower. And the thing I like about these is how customizable you can make the experience. You can go up there for 30 seconds, you could be up there for 5 to 10 minutes, you take an elevator up and you have the freedom to walk around at a 360-degree angle. You could look east for a certain amount of time, you could look north for a certain amount of time. Another big plus side to this as someone who takes videos of coasters is that you can record roller coasters from all the way up. The observation towers by Von Roll are definitely lacking in that, as they rotate on their own, and so you may not get the perfect shot. Here, you could be up here with your camera facing a certain coaster and wait and wait and wait until you get that perfect shot. For the final part of the video, we are going to go much more into detail when it comes to a ride model. This isn't a certain genre of coaster, this is a certain type of coaster. This is the Chance Hyper GTX. When Ed Hart saved Kentucky Kingdom in the early 2010s, he wanted to start it off with something crazy, but something less expensive. And he opened Lightning Run. It is personally currently in my top 15. And this ride came with a very tiny price compared to others, at $7 million, as some of the most elite roller coasters on the planet. This ride truly is magic. Though it's a very incredible and cheap ride, this is the only one of its kind in the world thus far. But, luckily for Chance Rides enthusiasts, there is one being built right now in Arizona, and one rumored to be built in the Midwest. So is there a future hope for this model? I honestly hope so. When I rode Lightning Run, I wasn't expecting much, but man, to this day, it is probably the most underrated coaster I have been on in my life. The airtime is incredible, the positive G-forces are relentless, the pacing is second to none, and of course, you can't forget, $7 million is not bad at all for a roller coaster of this thrill level. So let me know what you thought about this video in the comments below. Did I miss any certain attractions including rides and miscellaneous that you would want to see at more parks? Anyways, until next time, this is Cedar Flags, and I will see you all later.